Aries, this is your reading for October. Your first card is the Three of Swords. This I call the Cinderella card because life is getting you down and you're feeling bedraggled and beaten by everything. However, you've got a choice this month. The Judgment card's coming in here. It is saying if you can do one of two things. You either suck the lollipop or you make a change. Because the Judgment card is telling you to really look carefully at what's going on around you. And actually, perhaps the situation isn't about you. You keep trying to make changes and you're not succeeding at them because things can only get us down if we allow them to get us down. But the Judgment card here says, walk away from the situation. Because what you're not seeing on the Three of Swords and what you then start to realize on the Judgment card is that the situation isn't of your making, it's of someone else's making. And this is why you need to walk away, because nothing is going to change. And I suspect you've been sat with this situation for quite a while, but until you change your approach to how you view it, nothing will change. We're in a period of time at the moment whereby last year's energies are right back with us. And this month, October, we've got to understand that we need to make some changes that we've been lazy on making, because really we should have sorted this out last year, and we're being given a final opportunity before planetary activity starts changing in November to clear away all the things that we don't need, to do our housekeeping, to tidy things up, and to ask ourselves, can I carry on making amends for what's going on, or do I need a complete clean slate? Looking at these cards so far, and with the others that are coming up, I would say to you that you need to make a massive change, because you can no longer allow situations to control and dominate you in the way they have. But you've bought into this on your own 50%, and now's the time to understand, actually, you don't need this. Walk away, and walk away into something better, because change is good. A new clean slate is good, because you can take the lessons that you've learned so that you don't repeat the pattern, and you can start creating a brand new future. And with your Judgment card here, start creating a brand new future, because it's going to become good for you. Because your next card up is the World card. So everything that I've just said to you is coming to fruition, because you've come full cycle. The universe here is saying, chop yourself out of the rock that you're encased in. Here we have the lady in the rock, and it means that you've got far too much baggage. Know that you need to own up to your own 50%, that you've put far too much into situations where you should never have even given 1%, let alone the 150%. Know that you don't need this anymore, and allow yourself to transition, because the next card after this is the Fool starting his journey. Well, I've already said that in the Judgment card. The Fool has to start his journey again, but he mustn't take with him all the old patterns, all the old abuses, all the old things that he's relied on, all the old addictions that he's relied on, all the naughty bits in your psychology. They all need to go. Like I've already said, this is a transformative period in all of our lives at the moment. We all know that there is massive change on the horizon, and that is because Pluto is sitting in the back of Aquarius, and he's gone back into Capricorn, which is giving us a really good kicking at the moment, and he resumes his transit back into Aquarius in November, and from there onwards our lives are going to start moving at pace. So get ready for what is coming. And if you want to know more, there is a video specifically about Pluto back in Capricorn and Pluto in Aquarius, so check my other videos on the site, and I'll tag it also into the back of this video too. So allow yourself to transform, allow yourself to start moving forwards, and more to the point, allow yourself to start embracing something new, because you need it. And then you get the Death card from my next pack, and the Death card is all about rebirth. From death we get rebirth, but it's also, its keyword is transition, and now you need to transition. Everything is shouting at you this month, change. Make a good, positive change. Write down, what do I need for me? What mistakes do I keep repeating? Why do I keep doing them? Because you need to become aware about your motives underneath absolutely everything. So if you write everything down, you will see yourself on paper, and you'll start understanding your motive. That's really important, because sometimes we don't understand ourselves, yet we expect everybody else around us to understand us, and we don't do that for us. So write everything down, because you'll touch it, you'll feel it, you'll hear it, and you'll then understand it. Don't think it. Write it down. Understand your transition. Understand what changes you need to make that are really important for you, but also understand that you've been probably saying the same thing to you for a very long time. Things that you want. Well, actually, sometimes we don't know what what we want. In fact, I know we don't know what we want, but we know what we don't want. So write your list of what you don't want, and then write your new list of what you do want, which is the opposite of what you don't want. And start to dance the real version of you alive, because like I've already said, things are going to start happening in November. So October is a transition phase where we are starting to get used to new ideas, new concepts, new ways of doing things, but also offloading the parts of us we no longer need. Your Page of Cups comes in here, and it says you need to reassess how you give, because the Page of Cups comes in as innocence, and he likes to give a small amount because he's not fully grown into an adult. And so I would say to you, re-measure how much you give, because in your first card, the Three of Swords, it's very telling that you've given 150%, but in your new way, only give 0.5%. That's right, 0.5% versus the 150. And you see here on the Page of Cups, he's happy. He's innocent. He's got a wonderful value of utopia because he's not giving himself away. But here in the past, you've made the wrong mistake. You've made the wrong decision to give 150%, and it's left you feeling awful. But you get a new opportunity here to change that. But also in this, he's holding the cup. And the cup, when we put a cup out in front of us, is that we're asking to receive. So in the giving, we give far too much, and we actually, when we give too much, stop everybody from giving anything back to us. We stop because we've put up a massive barrier. But by putting in the Page of Cups here on our new path going forwards, you're asking people and actually allowing people to give to you. That's a whole new dimension, because you've been giving so much that is acted as a defense mechanism, but here this is acting as a receiving mechanism. And so whatever anybody gives to you, you can just say thank you, and it can touch you. And ultimately, what you didn't realize here was every time somebody gave to you, you go, oh, I've got to do more. I've got to do so much more to prove to you that I'm good enough. No, you don't. You've done that. Here, you just need to learn to say thank you and carry on. You don't need to give any more back, because as many of you may have heard in my videos before, there's a wonderful Chinese saying that I always revert to. Less is more. Give less and you will get more out of life, because more is desperately trying to get to your doorstep. Allow it to come to you. Drop the swords, drop the boundaries, drop the giving far too much because you're trying to prove that you're good enough. You know you're good enough at source. You know that you are good enough. You always were and you always will be. So allow yourself to receive anything that anybody is daft enough to give it to you. Run like crazy in the opposite direction and say, this is mine, thank you very much. Because your final card is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords says now you need to have a really good direction and a really good sense of self as to exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. Because in the past, the flip side of the Queen of Swords is when you've done things in the past, you haven't got the results that you want. So with the Queen of Swords, she then gets bitter, and then she gets angry, and then she stabs everybody, metaphorically, because she's annoyed, and she can talk with a forked tongue and be very cutting towards everybody. But on the positive side, which is how I like to work for you, I want you to be a positive Queen of Swords with clarity, knowing exactly what you want, knowing exactly what you need, understanding your motives, good and bad, of exactly which direction you're going to point your sword and how you're going to want to do it. This month, Aries, this is a massive pivotal month for you. Shake it up, dust it down, put it through a sieve, do whatever you need to do, because out of it you're going to be ready for what's coming in November. And believe you me, by January next year, everything's going to be working very, very quickly and changing very quickly. You've got half of November and then December to get your act together. So start making that change now. Enjoy your action-packed month of October. If you're liking my content, please like and subscribe to my videos. It means a lot to me, and I love to have your engagement. And if you've got any questions or need to know anything, just pop me a comment.